The silver screen has lost one of its most magnetic chameleons, a character actor whose brooding intensity could chill spines or steal scenes with effortless menace. Peter Greene, the New Jersey native etched into cinematic memory as the sadistic Zed in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction and the shadowy Dorian Tyrell in The Mask, was discovered deceased in his New York City apartment on December 12. At 60 years young, Greene's untimely exit from the stage of life came as a shock to those who knew his off-screen warmth, a stark contrast to the villains he embodied so convincingly. His manager, Greg Edwards, confirmed the heartbreaking news, recounting how authorities initiated a wellness check after neighbors reported music emanating from Greene's Lower East Side dwelling for over 24 unbroken hours, a haunting soundtrack to solitude that belied the vibrant soul within. Greene's final days unfolded in the bohemian grit of Clinton Street, a neighborhood that mirrored his own unpretentious ethos. Edwards, who had conversed with his client just days prior, painted a portrait of a man whose public persona was but a mask for profound kindness. He had a heart as big as gold, Edwards shared, evoking memories of Greene's generosity, the kind that extended the shirt off his back to a struggling friend or a fellow artist down on their luck. This duality, ferocious on film, tender in truth, defined Greene's legacy, making his passing all the more poignant. As the medical examiner's office works to ascertain the cause, the absence of foul play offers scant comfort to a community bereft of his quiet fire. Greene's odyssey in Hollywood commenced in the raw underbelly of 1990s independent cinema, a realm where raw talent could forge paths untrodden by the glossy elite. His debut in the crime drama Hardball, a gritty tale of street survival, hinted at the depth he would plumb in subsequent roles. But it was Pulp Fiction in 1994 that catapulted him into the zeitgeist. As Zed, the pawn shop proprietor who unleashes unspeakable horrors on Uma Thurman's Mia Wallace and Samuel L. Jackson's Jules Winfield, Greene distilled evil into a leering gaze and guttural snarl. Tarantino, ever the connoisseur of character, handpicked Greene for his ability to embody menace without caricature, a choice that cemented the film's status as a cultural touchstone. The basement scene, with its gimp-suited terror and razor-sharp dialogue, remains a masterclass in tension, Greene's performance a linchpin in the nonlinear narrative's fever dream. From those Tarantino-forged fires, Greene's career branched into a tapestry of indelible turns. In The Mask, he slithered into the role of Dorian Tyrell, the mobster whose green-faced rival, Jim Carrey, upended his underworld empire with cartoonish chaos. Greene's Tyrell was no mere foil. He was a vortex of ambition and rage, his scenes with Cameron Diaz crackling with forbidden allure. Critics hailed his work as the film's dark heartbeat, a counterweight to Carrey's whimsy that elevated the comedy to cult reverence. Venturing into psychological depths, Greene tackled schizophrenia in Clean Shave, portraying a murder suspect whose fractured mind unraveled in forensic poetry. The film's unflinching gaze at mental illness, filtered through Greene's haunted eyes, earned indie acclaim and a cult following among cinephiles who prized authenticity over artifice. His resume, a rogues gallery of rogues, included the usual suspects as slippery informant and Training Day's corrupt cop under Denzel Washington's thumb, roles that showcased his versatility in ensemble masterpieces. Ethan Hawke, co-star in the latter, once lauded Greene's electric undercurrent, a quality that made every frame he inhabited pulse with possibility. Yet, Greene shunned the red carpet circuit, preferring the anonymity of New York's theater scene and the solace of script readings in dimly lit cafes. His passion projects revealed a man committed to causes beyond the call sheet. Two endeavors loomed large at his passing. Mascots, an independent thriller slated for January 2026, promised to pair him with Mickey Rourke in a tale of espionage and redemption. And the documentary From the American People, The Withdrawal of USAID, which Greene was set to narrate, aimed to spotlight the human cost of geopolitical shifts, millions of lives upended by aid program dismantlings. Edwards recounted Greene's fervor for the project, his voice a clarion call for justice in a world too often deaf to distant cries. In reflecting on Greene's essence, Edwards didn't dwell on accolades but on anecdotes. The late-night diner philosophizing, the impromptu guitar sessions where Greene's fingers danced forgotten blues, the unwavering loyalty to friends weathering their own storms. Born in Montclair, New Jersey, Greene carried the Garden State's blue-collar grit into every portrayal, infusing blue-blood villains with streetwise soul. His absence leaves a void in an industry that too rarely nurtures such nuance, where typecasting devours the unflashy talents who truly elevate the craft. As tributes pour in from co-stars and directors, Hawke tweeting a still from Training Day, Tarantino reposting a Pulp Fiction clip with a somber caption, the conversation turns to legacy. Greene's wasn't measured in blockbusters but in moments. The shiver he sent down spines, the empathy he evoked for the irredeemable, the quiet activism that whispered louder than any monologue. Peter Greene's story reminds us that art's greatest practitioners often live in the shadows they cast on screen. He was the whisper in the dark, the unease in the ordinary, the heart beneath the hardness. In his Lower East Side lair, amid vinyl records and half-read scripts, he bid adieu not with fanfare but with the music that lingered, a fitting coda for a life that scored cinema's undercurrents. Colleagues mourn not just the actor but the ally, the dreamer who believed stories could mend the world's fractures. As Mascots awaits its premiere and the USAID doc echoes his advocacy, Greene's spirit endures, a testament to the power of presence, however fleeting. In Hollywood's vast reel, he was the frame that lingered, the performance that pierced, the man whose gold heart outshone any spotlight.